our wealth strategy, we will be talking about the pillars of prosperity. So this is a wide topic, and can be very, very wide, in fact. But I'm going to focus on some specific principles and some specific topics. And the first thing about prosperity is the mindset. So this is why I always start my live events with the daily declaration and the limiting belief, followed by the reconditioning. Why do I do that? Because it's all about mindset. You need to be in the right mindset. And if we are not moving forward, that's because we have a lot of limiting beliefs, or sometimes just one limiting belief that are holding us back. Okay, so we need to identify them, get rid of them, and move forward. The way to get rid of them is essentially through declarations. This is why it's so important, these declarations. And then once you identify the limiting belief, to put in place a reconditioning. Okay, so it's all about mindset. That's the number one priority. And the mindset is all about the abundance versus scarcity. Okay, so we can think that the glass is half full or the glass is half empty, and the way you look at the glass is the way you look at life. Okay, so it's really important that you start thinking abundance. I mean, there's plenty of everything around us. So it's not because you have a lot of something that somebody else is not going to have it. I mean, it's almost infinite. Okay, so don't be afraid of anything. Just think abundance versus scarcity. Okay, really important. Okay, really important to keep that in mind and to go always for the glass half full. Okay, now once you have this, you have acquired this mindset, which takes time. It's not done overnight. I mean, we've been for many years with this same type of patterns in our thinking, in our behavior, in our habits, and so it will take time to move forward, to get rid of some of those limiting beliefs and so on. Okay, but once you do, you need to have a vehicle that will take you to your prosperity goals. Okay, because you want to reach certain goals, and say, how are you going to get there? Okay, you need one or more vehicles. Okay, and I have identified essentially two main topics, if we want to call it that way. One is to go through cash flow. Another one is to go through capital gains. Okay, so just to give you an example of what does this mean? Well, cash flow is when you make an investment that provides you regular income. And capital gains is the type of investment where you don't make anything until you sell. And you may sell, hopefully, for more than you bought. And then you have a profit. That profit is the capital gain. Okay? And sometimes it can be very significant. Now, when we look at cash flow, we can think of real estate investments, for instance. You can think of energy investments, the ones we talk about at the Access Club, where you can buy or become a shareholder in a oil or gas well in America, for instance. That's in the energy sector. Real estate, it's buy to let. So we buy flats, rent them out, get the rent, and we keep the profit. Okay, so this is for cash flow. If you go for capital gains, then you're talking, for instance, investments in startups. Okay, so ideally you find a startup with lots of potential, help it to grow, help it to go on their journey, and all the way to the journey. It may take a long time. Sometimes it may take 8 years, 10 years, or more. But at some point, if it is successful, that startup can create a liquidity event that will generate a substantial amount of money. Okay. I mean, there are many examples of people that have invested in startups, and for every $1,000 or euros or pounds invested, they've gotten more than $1 million back, usually after 10 years. Okay. So there are many examples. I talk about it in my master classes. And so that's one way to really transform your life. Okay. Imagine going from €1,000 to €1 million in 10 years, and you don't have to do much for that. It's just the company that is creating value for the shareholders and then creates a liquidity event. Okay, that's quite fantastic. Now then you have the cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, I know some cryptocurrencies can generate some kind of a dividend and so on, but most cryptocurrencies, it's just the way to approach them is looking at the value they can create or the appreciation they will have over the next 3, 5, 10 years. Okay, if you look at Bitcoin, for instance, Bitcoin, when where were they 10 years ago? They had just started. They were like pennies. It was really, really cheap, and then it started to go up, and then at some point it was €100 or $100. Then 200, then 300, then 1,000, then 5,000, then 10,000. And all of a sudden now it's over 30,000. Okay. Now imagine those people that invested when it was €1, $1, and now it's 30,000. Okay. You see? So that's what can happen, and the kind of profits that can happen with when you do capital gains and you go for these types of approaches in your vehicles, your investment vehicles. Okay, then you need to have a system. A system is fundamental. Okay, and without a system, I mean, it's lost. So you need to have a proper system that you can follow, and that things are in order. You need a marketing system. You need a sales system. You need customer service. You need finance. All this, when you are and in your process. I mean, you can apply this to yourself as well. I mean, if you're looking for investors, to invest in your projects, you need to do some marketing, you need some sales, you need to give them some service, you need to organize your finances so that they are proper, they are in order, they can be tracked, so there is transparency there. Okay, so a system is fundamental to create value in a business, for instance. Okay, so it's absolutely essential. And then probably the most difficult of all, you need discipline. Discipline is key, because you may have all what I've just mentioned, but if you don't have the discipline to follow through, to keep on going, I mean, you won't get there. Okay. And in order to help you with that discipline, with your personal discipline, so that you are really on the ball on a daily basis, okay, then you need to hire probably, or to have a mentor or a coach or an advisor or even an accountability partner. Within our movement here on We Accelerate Prosperity and the Access Club, I have put in place the accountability partner program. Many of you have taken it, and I know, and it's now in the second season, let's say, of the accountability partner program, and many started in the first. They continued. They could understand the benefits of this partner program. Okay, so that's myself. I started in July 2020, and I keep on going every single day, Monday to Friday at 7:20 a.m. in the morning. I have my call with my accountability partner. It's a 10-minute call. Sometimes it's less than 10 minutes, but we go through the process every single day. Okay, so it's really, really important to get that going. Okay, all right, great. So a system, and a mentor, an advisor, a coach, and you have all that within our environment, within the Access Club, sometimes also within the movement on We Accelerate Prosperity. Okay, that's what we do. We have a system. We go methodically through it. All right, good. So that's what I wanted to share with you today.